Hi, good day everyone. So today we're going to be doing Jan 2022 number 1. Right, now let's look at this question. Use a calculator, otherwise fine. Now, this is decimals, right? They didn't bring fractions this year. So if they don't bring fractions, the next alternative is decimals. Alright, so I'll do this the two ways. First, I'll do it how you would use a calculator. In the second way, I'll show you how to do it otherwise, which means manually. Alright, the question has 8.9 plus 31.6 all divided by 0.75 multiplied by 5.4. The most important thing in this question is, brackets. Right, now if you were to solve this, you would do the top part first, the bottom part after, and then divide the two. So that tells you what you're going to put in your calculator. Open bracket, 8.9 plus 31.6, right? Close bracket, divided by, because that over button means to divide, open bracket, 0.75 multiplied by 5.4, close bracket. So let us now go and do it. Open bracket, 8.9 plus 31.6, close bracket, divided by open bracket 0.75 multiplied by 5.4, close bracket. When you do this, you're going to get a flat answer of 10. Right, the next way that you can do this is manually, where when you're doing any kind of questions like this, you always do the top part, then the bottom part, then divide. So the top part was 8.9 plus 31.6. The major thing with respect to addition of decimals is to line up the decimal points. 9 and 6 is 15, right? 8 and 1 is 9, plus 1, plus 1 is 10. Cross out the 0, put the 0 here. 3 plus 1 is 4. So the top part is 40.5. The bottom part is 0.75 multiplied by 5.4. Now, when you are multiplying decimals, right, you remove your decimal point and you multiply like normal. 75 multiplied by 54. Let's do that. 75 multiplied by 54. 5 5s are 25. Right, 7 5s are 35. 35, 37. That's 37. 0 here. 5 4s are 20. Right, 7 4s are 28. 30. That's 30 over. So 0 and 0, 0, 5. 7 and 3 is 10. 3, 4. So the bottom part, when you multiply like normal, is $4,050, right? Now, what you're going to do is count how many digits there are after a decimal in your original question. That is, digits after a decimal is 1, 2, 3. So in total, we have 3 digits after a decimal point. So you're going to take a decimal, your answer, and shift 3 places. If it was 4 digits after a decimal, you would shift 4 places. Right? In this case, it's only 3, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3. So when you are multiplying, you're going to get 4.05. You can put the 0 at the end. You don't have to. Right? That's 0.75 multiplied by 5.4. Right. So now we know the top part is 40.5. 40.5, and the bottom part is 4.05. Now, when you're doing a question, when you're dividing decimals, right? So far we added, we multiplied, and now we're dividing. So when, again, for addition, you line up your decimal point. For multiplication, remove the decimals, and multiply the number like it was normal, and then you count how many digits there are after your decimal point, and you would shift them back. Right now, for division, your divisor, right, that is the number you're dividing by, which is in this case 4.05, must be a whole number. So you shift your decimal in such a place you make it a whole number 1, 2. So if you shifted 2 places or the divisor 2, you need to shift the top part is called a dividend, right? Or what you're dividing it. Hold on, where's my mouse? Right. So you have to shift this 1, 2. So now the question, now there's no number here, so you have 13 with a 0. So the question will be 40, 50 divided by 405. Right? This is 0, 40. That is 0, 405. How much times 405 going to 405? 1. And how much times 205 going to 0? 0. So the answer is 0010. In other words, the answer is 10. And that is how you would do this manually. Again, guys, I would not recommend because this is only 1 mark, and you see how long it took me to do this first question. Okay, next one. The value, give the value of 3.9 tan 18 degrees correct to 1 decimal place. This question, there's no way that you can do this manually unless they give you a table. So you are going to use your calculator. Just a few things on your calculator. You need to make sure that your calculator is in DEG, which is in degrees, or D. Depending on the calculator, that's how they represent that the calculator is in degrees. Then you're going to put, this is what exactly you're going to put, 3.9, press the tan button, open bracket, 18, you don't need to put 18 degrees, just 18, close bracket, and then press equal. So 3.9, open, sorry, tan, 18, close bracket. When you put this in your calculator, you're going to get the answer of 1.267186815. They said to 1 decimal place, that means 1 digit after a decimal point, that's 1. You're going to draw a line down, that is after your first digit. You're going to look at the number after your line drawn, which is 6, axis up. Is 6 more than 5 or less than 5? It is more than 5. You have to add 1 to the digit in front of your line. So the question or the answer is now equal to 1 point. Instead of 2, it's going to be 3. You put in brackets to 1 decimal place. Right? And that would be how you find out the answer for part 2. All right. So the question says Ria is paid at a rate of 30,050 per hour, meaning 1 hour is equal if 1 hour is equal to $13.50. They want to know how much would be 40 hours. So then 40 hours is equal to 1350 multiplied by 40. Right? 1350. 13.5 multiplied by 40. So she will be working for a week $540. And that would be your answer for this first one. Part 2, right? Rhea worked 4 weeks in the month of August. Her gross earning was, gross meaning before any deductions have been made, her total amount that she worked for, right? Her regular week comprised of 40 hours and overtime was paid at time and a half hourly rate. Show that Rhea worked 15 hours overtime in August. So first off, let us put how much weeks it was. 4 weeks. We know that for 1 week, they told you 1 week is 40 hours, right? So 1 week, she earns $540. So for 4 weeks, it would be 540 multiplied by 4. Right? So let's multiply by 4. So for that 4-week period, this does not include overtime. She would have earned $2,160. But her gross, which is inclusive of your overtime, was $2,463.75. So we could find out the amount she earned for overtime would have been this $2,463. That's how much you work in total minus how much you earned for just the 4 weeks, which is $2,160. Right? So when you subtract that, that is $2,463.75 minus, you're going to see that amount you work for overtime is $303.75. Now, overtime rate is equal to 1.5. They said it is paid 1.5 times the hourly rate, which is 1.5 multiplied the hourly rate they told you above is $13.50. So for 1 hour of overtime, it would be $13.50 multiplied by 1.5 or 1.5. So for 1 hour of overtime, it is $20.25. So we know we're trying to find out the number of hours she works. So we're going to use an if, then, therefore. We have if, then, therefore. Right? We have the left-hand side and the right-hand side. If we know anything about our if, then, therefore, because we are trying to find out the number of hours, we know that your right-hand side would be hours. And the first line, which is what you know, is 1 hour of overtime is equal to $20.25. That is what we work for or discovered overtime rate, right? Your then line is to find for 1, which is your right-hand side divided by your left-hand side in your if line, which would be 1 divided by 20.25, right? And how much did the number of hours she would have to work to earn $303.75. So $303.75 would be equal to 1 over 20.75 multiplied by 303.75. No, sorry, $20.25, right? So 303.75 divided by that. When you divide that, you will get 15 hours. And that is how you would have done this question. In August, 20% of Ria's gross earnings was deducted as tax. How much money does she have left? So her gross earnings, they told you in the question above, was $2,463.75. That is the original amount, right? So let's write that down. Gross is equal to $2,463.75. We know that that is your original amount. So what percentage would this be equal to, guys? Oh, let me just say the original. This is before any deductions have been made. So what percentage would this be equal to? Right? So we know that gross is equal to 100. I'm going to find out how much she had after deduction. So after deduction, would be the after deduction, where's my mouse? Percent would be 100 minus 20, which is equal to 80%. So this question says, we want to find out what is 80%. So if 100% is equal to 2463.75, then you find for 1%, which would be your right hand side divided by your left hand side. So that's $2,463.75 divided by 100, right, to over 100. You want to find for 80%, therefore 80% would be 80 multiplied by $2,463.75 over 100. All right, let's do this on the calculator. That's 80 multiplied by $2,463.75. Right, so when you do this, you're gonna get 80%, or how much she had after deductions was $1,971. This is how much she was paid after her deductions, or this is how much she had left. All right, and that's how you do this question. The last question here says Ria invested $219. So that means her principal is 219. Remember, principal is the amount invested or the amount borrowed. All right, the time they said is of her earnings for 3 years. The time is 3 years. The rate is 4.5%. They ask you what is her interest, how much interest does she receive after 3 years. So we know that a simple interest is equal to principal by rate by time all over 100, which would be equal to 219 multiplied by a rate of 4.5 multiplied by time of 3 all over 100. If you're going to do this in your calculator, please guys put this top part, this is what you're going to put in your calculator. Open bracket 219 multiplied by 4.5 multiplied by 3. Then you're going to put, instead of over, divide by 100. So let's go ahead. Open bracket 219 multiplied by 4.5 multiplied by 3. Close bracket divided by 100. And your answer is going to be, she got a simple interest of 29.56. Hold on. 0.565. We want 2 digits after the decimal point because it's money. So 1, 2, a line is going to be drawn between the 6 and the 5. We're looking to see if the number after the line drawn is more than 5 or less than 5. It is 5, so you have to add 1 to that 6, or the number in front of the line. So your answer, your final answer of simple interest is going to be $29.57. And that is how we would have done this question right here. All right, and that is the end of January 2022.